In October 2023, we took a Royal Caribbean cruise on Serenade of the Seas to New England and Canada. Our first port of call was in Portland, Maine. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. It's Monday. Portland.
It's this. We have a harbor, unlike almost any harbor in the United States. It never freezes. You say, well, doesn't it get cold there? Doesn't it snow? Yeah, we'll talk about the weather. We are just at the perfect longitude, the perfect latitude that it never freezes. Of the city, they can get in and out of these promenades into neighborhoods where we just simply cannot get to. You can see at that point in time the different styling of architect. They can be fun. We have an island out to the right. It's called Mackworth Island. It has a school for the deaf out there, and so we see a lot of deaf students coming back onto the area. We have a lot of people doing signing in this area. Of it. It is a famous monument, and why it is so particularly favorite to Portland, it is because on the bottom of it are 4 names. Portland is, so they literally, for their convenience, built it backwards. Notice on the railing, they actually have added their own 11th commandment, thou shalt not park here. You know, because we concert venue, they draw people from all over the world. The last big concert I saw there, the performer was in one of his last tours of the United States, the famous Tony Bennett. What I like about this, and obviously the architect is wonderful, but if you look in the middle, see where it says City Hall? There is an emblem and a word there. The emblem is the phoenix. Coming up on the right, I like to point out this very colorful sculpture. To me, the sculpture begins to give a blend to our city. It actually blends the old and the new together. That obviously represents the new, and it was donated. Right. Again, you may want to really take a picture of this next building. It's called the Baxter Building. It was presented to our city by, at that time, the mayor, Baxter. He then went on to become a governor. I just think it's charming, the colors, the architect, the endangered species. These people elected to build around the endangered species that they ran into. You might ask me and want to know what the endangered species was. Yeah, it was sea worms. We had choices like we do here on the boat and every night. The center above the porch. Yep, 1795. So they're all going to be really old houses. I want you to look at those dates. There's going to be another feature, and then when we make the right down here, now this is Summer Street, begin to see some fun Halloween decorations, but I want you to focus on this one feature. You're going to see it down here on the right-hand side. It's right past the first street that we pass. It's a white house, and what I want you to do, it's sitting behind a wrought iron fence. I want you to not only look at the house, I want your eyes to go upwards, and I want you to look at the chimney of the house. It's going to be right here in the corner, not this one, the next one. Notice that chimney. It's a white chimney with a black band. They're on many of these houses on this street. They are indicative of homes that supported the British. It's called a Tory chimney, And it's a secret sign that loyalists were North American colonists who remained loyal subjects of the British Crown during the American Revolutionary War. They were often referred to as Tories, Royalists, or King's Men. Now, their colonial opponents who supported the revolution were called rebels, patriots, Whigs. They generally thought of themselves as free Americans. Now, when we come up to this little bridge that we're going to cross over, I want you to look to the right and sort of over your right shoulder. You're going to see a little train station nestled right down there to the right. Do you see it? Mm-hmm. That train station was where the people, the rich Bostonians, the New Yorkers, came up to this area. They were met by a horse-drawn wagon at the time, and then what they did is they took the people, the tourists who came, again, not for a day, not right-hand side. You see how beautiful it is? Yeah, when they took these people to these homes, they literally pampered them for the entire summer. They didn't again come for a day or a week. They came for the season. Now again, these are the very ordinary houses, the ones that we might be living in, the ones that are going to be staying all winter long. Most of them you can see are wooden houses. We don't have a lot of brick. We don't have a lot of aluminum siding. We don't have a lot of vinyl. We have a lot of open space. Now, coming through here on the right-hand side, if you were to go inside, and it's expensive, you will see that it's not the most modern resort as far as technology is concerned. However, I can tell you in simplicity, in charm, in sophistication, one of the most beautiful resorts where you could stay. Now, a lot of these boats are lobster boats as we come out on the right-hand side. You're going to see a nice opening out into the Atlantic Ocean. They do a lot of lobster pulling. They do a lot of whale watching cruises out here. And coming up on the left-hand side, I always say it's probably the most non-pretty restaurant that you could have. It's the blue building trimmed in white. You see how they have the plastic down over their sun porch? They have some kind of a apparatus on the top, maybe for heating, for cooling, of Kennebunkport. And those houses are up close and personal to the ocean. I mean, literally, it comes right up to the housetops. The left, if I could change one thing on the tour, I would have these people cut their hedges so we could look over better. Look at this house on the left. Look at the lawn furniture in that house. Is that not some of the most beautiful furniture you've seen in your life? And on the right, we have St. Anne's Episcopal Church. You might be able to grab a picture. I mean, all along here, look at this coastline. Do you see why they have to have apparatus? I mean, when we have a storm, the water is literally coming up on this road. You know, I often think this is the same ocean that comes up gently on the white sands of Florida, and here it comes crashing into the rocks. I mean, what a difference. We're going to be at Walker's Point when we get to the top of the knoll of this hill. It will be on the right, and I often think, I don't think people know what to expect. You know, is it one grand house? No, it is a peninsula of houses. Starting right now, we are actually on camera, being watched by the Secret Servicemen. It is this entire area. If the president were home today, there would also be a flag of Texas and a flag of Maine flying. They are not in residency today, but you see other cars. There are people over there. There is a home over there for George. There's one for Jen, one for Marvin, Neil, Dorothy, Robin. You'll see people up here standing. They actually put an inscription on a plaque. Again, we're not allowed to stop, but it pretty much reads that they have given it to the president for his work as the 41st president. Again, he was a loved person. The Secret Service are here year-round. When the president is here, they're both in the water and on the land. Last week I had a bus driver, and right down in this vicinity there was a car parked, and she began to beep the horn. We wanted to get through. When she beeped the horn, 3 very large Secret Servicemen jumped out. We quit beeping the horn. This would be the entrance into the area. A lot of my bus drivers have actually acted as personal chauffeurs of the bushes when they come from the airport to here. I've never heard a bad word spoken by any of them. Their scuba suit? No, because we can stop. On the left-hand side, there's a house clear back at the end of the marsh. That is the home of the present CEO of eHarmony. I show it.